Hi there, welcome to Naze Knits. I am Sam and this is podcast number 8. If you're new here, I am a beginner intermediate knitter documenting my journey in knitting. I've started knitting about 8 months ago, and yeah, I thought I'd document it and share it with other beginner knitters, and so they can learn from my mistakes and we can learn together and we can share progress. And yeah, I just wanted to create a nice inclusive beginner kind of community, or beginner friendly community. It's not complete beginner, but yeah, I just wanted to do that. It's also called Naze Knits because I am from the Essex coast, and the part of Essex coast is called the Naze, and it's a very close to my heart, family come from there kind of place, so I just wanted to name the podcast after that. I will insert some pictures here of the Naze. Just so you know where I'm talking about if I say Naze, you know. Yeah, so let's get started. As you can see, I have something here. Could I have finished a project? Nearly. I have finished it, but it needs tweaking. So this is the Novelli by Caitlin Hunter. Okay. Something, it needs blocking. I haven't blocked it yet, but I'm not 100% happy. Or, you know, never perfect, is it? It's never perfect. I love the yarn, absolutely adore the yarn, adore the pattern, but I was expecting something boxier. I measured myself, and if you watched the last, was it the last podcast before that, podcast number six, if you watched that, it was called the Novelli saga, and I have been on a journey with this pattern. So I measured myself, I did the recommended size, which I never normally do. I normally just go for a size 3 or an M, and that's me done. But I was like, no, I'm going to do it properly. I'm going to document it properly. And I started knitting the size 1 they suggested, and it could have fitted a 7-year-old. So I ripped it back, and then I knitted a size 3, and my yarn choice wasn't great for the main colour. I didn't like the effect. It was very ripply, very baggy. Even if I'd downsized, I'd have to downsize a lot. So I was just like, rip it back. I ripped back to the colour work. I'm going to make a cowl out of the colour work. Anybody else that does the same? There you go. There's a little thing for you. And then for the third one, I decided to knit size 2 because I thought the size 3 was a little bit too big, but also I was trying to be a bit well behaved on colour yarn management, which I didn't need to because I ended up buying a second skein anyway. So I should have carried on knitting the size 3, but I went down to a size 2 because the measurements said it was perfectly fine, and I should have just gone with gut, but I didn't, so I went for the size 2. So did the colour work. Colour work's great. I thought it'll block out a bit, I hope. Like, it stretches a lot, so I'm hoping it blocks out a bit, because at the moment it is not boxy like I thought it would be. As you can see, the shoulders are way wider than the bottom, which I don't know if it's my ribbing. Like, the neckline is also very wide, so next time I did what they suggested with the pattern, I would put it to about here. I would not do it as wide because it is slipping off. My husband's very pleased because it's quite sexy. I show a lot of shoulder, but I'm like, I don't really want that from a jumper. I want to be warm. So yeah, I need to figure out a way of like sewing it where it doesn't look weird. I don't know how to do it. Any suggestions, let me know. But yeah, I don't want to rip it back again, but I may have to. I may have to do this ribbing again. But this is already on a 275, so I may have to go down to a 225 for the ribbing. But the ribbing down here is 275, so I don't quite know. I think it's just really wide. So yeah, maybe I need to just rip back to here and then just, I'm not looking forward to that. So I'm not doing that yet. I'm going to take a break from the Novelli because, yeah. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do, isn't it? I'm going to have to rip it back. But bear in mind, I've already ripped this bind off once because the binder off that Caitlin Hunter suggested was a stretchy bind off. And I was being well behaved and didn't go with my gut and didn't do what I normally do and just do a normal regular bind off because I was being a grown up and I was behaving. I was doing what I was told and reading the pattern. It came out like a wave, like a frilly wave. Honestly, it like I put it on and it was like woo, and I should have realised then, but then I thought, oh, it's the bind off that did it. So I just did a regular bind off and it's come out brilliant. But yeah, also this needs some, I think I've just got to take this out and make it thingy. But I honestly thought it was the bind off, which is my inexperience. So this needs blocking. Oh, I didn't talk about the yarn. If you haven't been here before, the main colour is the Camels yarn and it's part of the Merry Maidens sock set. Ooh, you see the colour? You can see the very lovely, bright, springy greens. Unfortunately, it doesn't come out well on camera. The colour work, we've got the other part of the sock set, Merry Maidens, which is the light blue here. And then the cream is Adventures in Yarncraft Undyed. And it's so soft and so cuddly. I need to sort this out. Future Sam, do it. I'll give myself a week off it and then I'll attempt it because it's going to be a fiddle, isn't it? I'm doing that bind off. Anywho, the problem is I did it. I thought, oh, perfect. It's going to be better than last time. Didn't try it on with the bind off still loose. Thingied it off, tried it on in the morning, and then went, oh, fuck. So never mind. So that is the Novelli saga. I also knitted, it suggests knitting 10 centimetres stockinette. I did 15, just because I'm a little bit more long-bodied. I'm glad I did that, because it had been very cropped otherwise. Also, what was I going to say? Yeah, if you were to knit this, size up. Definitely size up. You want to go at least one, maybe 2 sizes up. If you want that boxy look that they have on the pattern, size up. Definitely recommend that. Might block out looser, but you know, I don't think it is going to block out that much looser because, you know, colour work doesn't tend to block loose, does it? So we'll see, we'll see. I've never blocked before either, so it could be an absolute car crash. I reduced the needle size, I think I talked about that because I wasn't happy with the gauge with the main colour. I'm not sure. I went down to a 275 because I just wasn't happy. Yes, so if I was to knit it again, and to give you heads up, bigger size, smaller needles, extra length in the stockinette, keep an eye on your neckline. Do not do stretchy bind off unless you make the neckline a lot smaller. There we go. That is the Novelli saga. I will hopefully next podcast I'll just sort it out, but you know, it probably won't happen. Might need 2 weeks off of it because yeah, I've been working on that for a good month, maybe 2 months. So maybe a month. A lot of hours gone into this, so yeah, I'm ready to park it for a little bit, but not too long. It's really hot at the moment, so I wouldn't be wearing it anyway, but I need to get it ready for autumn really. So there we go. Okay, let's move on. I was finishing this off. I was like, I need another easy-ish pattern to do, something I can do whilst talking to people in my family, or if I'm in the car, or you know, a brain clearer. Like I have my golden haul, which is a little bit more, it's seed stitch, is it seed stitch? Seed stitch cables, so I need to be focused with that, and I don't really want to be chatting to people while I'm doing that. I need to have my full focus. I also have my ripple, which I can take in the car, but I wanted something a little bit more meaty, and I've got a lot of yarn that I need to use, so I thought I'll shop from the stash. So stash wise, I have some pigment and ply, which I've talked about before, Hyless. I have some Adventures in Yarn Undyed left. I have some woolly knit plata merino. I have some mohair in New Day from Cheshire Yarns, and I have something coming in the post, well, two things coming in the post, which one is the pigment and ply club set, like mini skeins, and another one I'll talk about later in my acquisitions, because I have one acquisitions, but I don't have it in the flesh yet, but I'll let you know about it, because so you can order it if you want to. Yeah, so I have some yarn to make some really nice things from, so I wanted to get going with that kind of thing. And I was looking at patterns that I really love as well. There's a few Caitlin Hunter patterns like Ghost Horses, Easy V, Halo. Yeah, I really like those. I also like the Woolen Pine Sea Glass sweater. There's one called Adventurous, which I think is by... Ooh. Oh no, there we go. I had it right open. What am I doing? Yeah. I'm working my way through, and I was very organised with this, and then one morning I woke up and I was looking through Ravelry, and I was looking at the thing for Halo for Caitlin Hunter, and I saw this pattern here. And it is Caitlin Hunter. Sorry, it's Caitlin Hunter fan club on this channel at the moment. I'm really sorry. And it's the Iskald. And I was like, I need that jumper. It's what I've been looking for, to be honest. When I got the plata and the New Day, I really wanted a V-neck out of it. And I wanted something a little bit special, but also cozy and something I could chuck on, and I couldn't get a good wear out of it because the yarn is incredible. Like the mohair from New Day by Cheshire Yarns is beautiful. So I wanted to showcase that, but also I want something nice to wear out of it that I'm gonna wear a lot. So I saw that Iskald, and I think it's quite an old pattern, but it's perfect. It's V-neck raglan. It has cables in the raglan, which I wanted to practice my cables for the golden haul. So it was a little bit of cable action without too much. And I have learnt a lot from that. Purely, I can't talk and cable at the same time. I have learnt this. My brain fog just doesn't let it out. I can't focus on more than one thing if I have a foggy brain. So, and I have a foggy brain most of the time. So if I'm to talk to people or ring someone up, I can't be doing cable. I've learned that this week. So yeah, so the yarn in question is Woolly Knit Merino Cone, 500 grams. I think I got this for about £20. Had a voucher at the time. So it's a lovely cornflowery blue periwinkle kind of lilac-y colour. Really pretty, really pretty. And yeah, it's not the softest in the world, but it's softer than the Inca Gold that I was talking about last week. It's less abrasive. I don't know why, but yeah, I found the Inca Gold was quite, it wasn't next to skin soft, whereas this is fine. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, so you get 500 grams out of this one as well, so it's about 2,500 meters per cone. So if you want just a standard wool, like, you know, fingering weight, Woolly Knit, you know, if you just need something for Christmas presents, get yourself some Woolly Knit cones ready, because sorted. I think the Crea Bay is doing something with Woolly Knit at the moment. I don't know if it's just for cotton. They may have a code. Oh gosh, I've stopped at a really silly place. Right, hang on one moment. Right, so I've actually got quite far with this. It's been quite a quick knit, to be honest. It's quite a big gauge. I think I'm knitting it on size 5 needles. So fingering weight held double with merino fingering weight held double with mohair as 5 needle. So it's knitting up quite quickly. It's quite a, it's not a loose gauge, but you know, I'm used to knitting things just fingering weight. So it's like, whoa, it's really quick. So it's quite a satisfying knit, to be honest. I frogged the diaphanous raglan if you watched before. I think I've talked about that in episode 6 as well. So I cast on diaphanous raglan with this yarn, and it was really pretty. I was loving the look of it, but I just wasn't picking it up. And I think it's purely because you have 3 balls of yarn at the same time, and it's a lot of unraveling and twisting and stuff like that. Like, it was very simple. It was stockinette increases, but if you can imagine, you had held double piece here, held double piece here, and mohair in the middle, and then you increased, and the yarns were constantly getting tangled, and someone with mobility issues and doesn't want to have to think about anything when they're knitting, it was an issue. And I think that was stopping me knitting it. So I would maybe knit it again another time, but because it is a beautiful pattern, I just wasn't feeling it. And it looked lovely with the yarn as well, but I just couldn't get on with it at the moment. Like, my brain is all over the place and I've got a lot on, so I needed to do something different with it. And I wanted to do something with this yarn because this is one of the first yarns I brought when I started knitting, and I love it so much, and I want to wear it, you know, and I want to enjoy it. So okay, so let's show you what I've done so far. Hopefully it won't fall off the needles. Okay, so it's done top down. So you've got your raglan increases. Now there is a couple of mistakes on the, don't know, you can see on the cables, but you know what? I was talking to someone on the phone, or I was talking to one of my family members. I don't care. You know, like I said last week, I have no issue with imperfection because it's a memory. I will know that when I made that mistake, when I look at it, I was on the phone to my auntie, or I was talking to my dad, or, you know, so I have no shits. No shits are given. So this is, I should really put it on a bigger cable needle, but never mind. Oh, don't fall off. Yeah, so I'm doing the size medium. I didn't measure because you just know, don't you? It comes in lots of sizes. It's size inclusive. Lovely raglans. I'll split the sleeves soon. And you've got raglans on the back as well. Look at this yarn though. Can you see? Can you see there's little pops of neon? and blue. Oh, it's just absolutely beautiful. So I'm really pleased with the yarn combination. I'm pleased with the pattern. Like I said, it's easy to pick up. The cabling's quite easy. It's literally C4, you know, so, and all I did was Google that. They told me what it was, you know, so I feel like I've learned a bit about my knitting with it, and it's knitting up quite quickly. Like, I'm already nearly splitting for sleeves, so I am pretty much a third of the way, I reckon. Well, maybe a fourth. Maybe I'm being a little bit ambitious there. So I'll show you the Cheshire New Day, because I didn't show you that. So unfortunately it's all in balls now, but you can see it is like, I think I've likened it to mermaid tears before. It is just absolutely beautiful. I think it's Super Kid Mohair on silk, but yeah, absolutely stunning. So very happy with that yarn purchase. And to be honest, everything I've tried to knit with it has been stunning. So I'm glad that I finally found a pattern that I'm comfortable with and happy with. So really happy with that. What did I want to say? Yep, happy progress. The other thing I tried to knit with it before was a cardi v-neck, but that wasn't size inclusive, so I just ripped that out because I wasn't happy with that. And that was a lot of cabling. That was just full honeycomb type cabling. So I'm very pleased with this, and it's going to be so fluffy and warm in the winter. It's going to be a cracker, and I love a v-neck, so I may knit more of these. Could do with like a nice burgundy one or something. That would be really cool. Maybe we'll check out. I think I've got some burgundy mohair somewhere actually. That would be really cool. I'll see if Woolly Knits got some burgundy fingering weight actually to do that with. Yeah, so that is the knitting I've done this week. So I've got a whip, I've got a finished item. I've really focused on the Novelli. This I've literally done in 48 hours. So that's how quick it is. Obviously not the whole 48 hours, but I think this is about 12 hours of knitting with breaks, you know, that's maybe less, 10 hours. It's been really quick, and I haven't sped knit it. I've just done it whilst watching TV really, so you know, I think it's been quite good that. Yeah, so what else did I want to talk about today? So that's basically the knitting. I have got 2 other whips, but I haven't touched them just purely because I wanted to get the Novelli finished, and then I need a palette cleanser, so that's what I did. If you wanted to know more about them, they're in last week's podcast. That's the Riffle Camisole by Jessie made design, and the Golden Haul Shawl by Nicole, Larkin-York. So I'll link them down below. Yeah, so things I want to talk about. So my acquisition, I will add a picture here. Is the Little Women variegated mini skein set, and it's due to arrive in August, I believe. I love Little Women. I've got the DVDs, I've read the books many times, and I saw the Beth colour and nearly burst into tears, so I had to purchase it. As you do. So it's by Skein and Stitch. I believe they're still open for orders. Hopefully, if not, maybe there'll be some left over once they're done. But they have some really lovely yarns, so I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, so I'm wondering what to knit with that. And I'm wondering whether to do the Ghost Horses. The colour work is the Little Women, and then the rest is Adventures in Yarn Crafts, because I do have some undyed left and I can easily get some more, so that's not an issue. Or whether to do a sea glass sweater or an easy V. So I'm waiting, I'll wait till August so I can swatch it, but that's what I'm thinking I'll use with those. But if you have any other ideas for mini skein kind of colour work type things, let me know. So that's my plan for that one. Yeah, so what else? What else? Ah, yes. So I have found some really cool patterns. I am going to start knitting some up. They're by Annie Lupton, I think. I can't read my own writing. I think it's Lupton. And they are banner patterns. Now, you're probably aware, this is an inclusive podcast and we love everybody. And some of the banner patterns I will put here. So we have Drag is Not a Crime. Protect Trans Kids. Kids Not Guns. Protect Kids Not Guns, I should say. And Vote. I think all four of those are equally very important. So I would like to knit those, maybe put them on my wall here, just so everyone is aware that we are inclusive and we love gay people, and you know, yeah, so that is what I'd quite like to do. I need to have a look through my stash and see what walls I've got. Quite like to get something else as well, maybe. But yes, I think it's very important that they're up there all the time and not just for Pride. But I'm wondering if there's any Pride yarns out there that would look quite nice for those. So I will have a look. What else? Yes. So, oh, I have some exciting news. I am going to be attending the Summer Wool Festival in Amptill. That is on June 29th. I think I'll go on the Saturday, but it's also on the 30th as well. So I was excited because it's around my old stomping ground. I used to live round near Bedford for quite a while. That's where I met my husband, and then we moved back to where I grew up. So that's what we did. So I know Bedfordshire really well, and I was quite happy. I was like, oh yeah, I'll go to a little yarn festival. It's not little. I don't know why I had it in my head that it was little. It's not a little festival. So I had a look on the website, which is much better on laptop than on mobile, I must admit. And there's at least 40, 47, nearly 50 probably now, indie yarn dyers there. That's a lot of yarn. So I'm thinking of going to that. Well, I'm definitely going to go to that. May take my mumsy. So I'm really looking forward to that. If you are one of those indie yarn dyers, let me know. I'm thinking I might do some interviews while I'm there. I think I've spoken to the organiser and they let me go in early, so I'm going to do some interviews and get some gossip and hopefully get lots of lovely footage for you, and we'll have a full podcast of the Summer Wool Festival at the end of the month. So that would be really exciting. It's not long. That's not long, is it? Oh yeah, so really looking forward to that. Yeah, so if you are one of those indie dyers, let me know and I'll come chat to you. And even if I don't speak to them, I'll go around anyway and have a chat. Get lots of footage. I did do the East Anglia Yarn Festival for one of my first podcasts, so I kind of get it now. So I'm going in early before it gets crazy and there's lots of people, and get lots of footage for you. I'm also thinking that maybe we'll do a little meetup if people are interested. I might take my knitting and just sit down and have some lunch, and if people want to join me, they can join me. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if you fancy it, if you need more information. I'll link it down below. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think Crafty Bird's gonna be there, which would be great because yeah, I ordered their advent this year, so it would be nice to talk to them about it and get a little bit more information for you. It's based on his dark materials, so yeah, have a little geek out there. I think they also do other literary book theme ones as well. I think there might be is there a Hobbit one? I don't know. Oh, I know I've brought wool yarn from them recently. Was it the Foxes by Midnight I brought before, or was it? It might have been. It's got Winnie the Pooh in, possibly. Hang on, let's check that out. Yes, so I have brought yarn from Crafty Bird before I did the advent, and that was Foxes at Midnight. So you know all those lovely colours that I've shown before: Foxy, Squirrel Nutkin, Earth Dance, 100 Acre Wood. So they are very literally based. Yeah, so I'm hoping that I can have a chat with them. And yeah, I think Coastal Colours is going to be there. So if you've seen before, I made that vest by Jacqueline Sizak. I think it's the Strata. I made that out of one of the yak wools. So that would be nice, wouldn't it? Some more yak. Oh dear. It's a bit dangerous, isn't it? I've got to decide what my birthday present's going to be, so it might be decided there. Or I might just get some yarn. Don't need a reason to get yarn. Yeah, so I think that's basically all this week. Yeah, so there's been one acquisition, but it hasn't arrived yet, and it won't arrive till August. I'm hoping I will get my Pigment and Ply club in the next week or so, so that'll be cool. So I can show you that. And yeah, sorry it's a quick one this week, but I've done so much knitting and not much, and only on 2 things. I haven't done as much this week. It's been a bit of a busy one. So yeah, but we got a video out. And to be fair, like the other ones are longer because I'm taking longer to film them. So like in between, so it is going to be quicker. It's going to be quicker. Thank you for joining me. I hope you are enjoying the lovely summer weather where you are. It is roasting hot here. May have to go to the beach later if it carries on. It is very warm in this room. The new location, I will jazz it up a bit, but if you didn't watch last week's, I've had to move because I have family members staying with us now, and it's going to be for a while, so I'm going to make this room nice and be my podcasty living area type thing. So that is the plan. Whew. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope you have a lovely week, and yeah, Stitch and Bitch, I'm thinking of sorry. I thought I was done, but I haven't. So the Stitch and Bitch was really lovely the other week. I really enjoyed it, and I met a few new people. Unfortunately, I didn't realise, and they didn't give me any warning, that if I was to do a live, I needed permission. So I went to do it on YouTube, and it went, you need to give us 24 hours notice. So I had to quickly jump on Instagram and do it there. So if you'd like to check that out, it is on Instagram. You know, it's a bit, because I was like, oh, on Instagram, is anyone going to turn up? But people did, so that's lovely. And yeah, so if you want to watch it, I've saved it in my highlights on Instagram. But the next time, I think I might do it on either Discord or Zoom. Probably Zoom, just so I can see everyone, because it was a bit, I love that I got to chat to people, but because of the delay of typing, and then, you know, I didn't get to see the faces, so it felt like I was just doing a podcast, to be honest. So I'm thinking that the next one will probably be done by Zoom, but I need to figure out how to do that. So I will talk to my technical advisor, aka husband, and I will sort that out for you and let you know. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. We'll see how things go, because things are a little bit at the moment. And yeah, so thank you for joining me, and I'll speak to you next time.